Welcome back to Virginia. Still windy? Yeah, it's really windy out there. Woo! So we're back here again at Virginia Beach. As you can tell, it's really windy now. It's post Labor Day weekend rather, and the beach is pretty empty. No, I guess not. Like we weren't here when it was Labor Day, so we didn't know how the crowds were. But it's really nice. Not a lot of people around. So I guess if you really wanna, if you want that kind of vibe, it's just come here during after Labor Day. It's not cold yet. I was kind of surprised that it was colder in North Carolina. We were in the 60s, and then over here it was up in the 80s. So it's a lot warmer here in Virginia. Likes playing in the sand. Look. Airplane. Unfortunately, over the weekend, a TikTok influencer had a tattoo of the rising sun in one of her forearms while she was performing. Of course, she already sent an apology, saying that she was a fan of a Japanese artist as well. So this is something that has been going on, especially with younger Filipinos that don't pay attention to history. Well, history in the Philippines is really whitewashed. Whitewashed, but I mean, there's a lot of deletion, and there's a lot of things that were kept in the books, so they don't teach those things in school. One example is, this lady who had a grandmother who survived World War II atrocities, and she married a Japanese man. Although, I understand your father is, your son is not your father's sin. But, she was raped. She was, reportedly raped by, Japanese soldiers when they occupied their hometown. So, when she brought in her Japanese husband or fiance, I think we don't know what the end result of that was, but that is something that mistakenly happens. And you're asking probably, Lester, what is really the reason why some Filipinos are like that? Well, if you go to the Philippines, when you think of the Philippines, you think of a place called Manila. It's like, oh man, Philippines, Manila, or Philippines, Cebu, or Philippines, Davao. Philippines has 7,107 islands and etc. islands, depending on, if it's low tide or high tide. All of this is all about poverty. When Filipinos migrate somewhere else, it's all about making the big bucks. There's just one sole focus, and that focus is to work. Nothing else. Okay, nothing else matters. Is that what it is? When the Filipinos migrate to other countries, their sole focus is to work hard and try to make money, send it back home so that people back home can have a better life. That shouldn't be happening in the first place. Okay, Filipino people should be able to work in their own home country, and make that home country a better place without having to resort to, let me go to the United States, let me go to the United Kingdom, let me go to all these places and make all this money, all for the purpose of sending it back home to be spent on education of your family. So it is, something that is slowly, I hope it is slowly diminishing with the current administration, because I really want, for me, it would have been fine if I just stayed back in the Philippines, and that would have been fine. I think I'm just going on a tangent now. Unfortunately, this will not be the first, and this will not be the only instance where you will find, Filipinos being not, culturally sensitive. Because again, like I told you, a lot of the people in the Philippines are poor. They're not concerned about, other people's feelings. They're more concerned about, making money. They're more concerned about, trying to provide for their families and making their families, in a better position back home. So, unfortunately, these are not our, strong points when it comes to, being global citizens. But, hopefully, I'm so glad that this happened. So at least, the Filipinos will be more aware of, cultural beliefs, everything that has to do with other people's culture. Okay? It's kind of amazing to me how, people still revolt against, Marcos. He plundered the Philippines. He took all our gold. We want all our gold. But, you have this local officials who also stole, okay, by doing projects Okay, with substandard materials, and everybody knows this, left and right. Whenever you're going to make a apply for a business permit, you know, the whoever signs your business permit is gonna ask you, okay, how much is my pot? How much is my part? How much money am I gonna take from this? So that kind of thing, man. That just pisses me off. Where people say, oh man, Marcus shouldn't be buried in a hero cemetery. He took all our money. Damn. You got people stealing your money at the present time, yet you can't even say anything about it. So, that's kind of thing that pisses me off. Because people don't know any better. And the media is playing into this. And it just... and it just makes me so angry. It's downright despicable. And these people get reelected from time and time again. And then they just go on and... Oh gosh, really? It's amazing. It's amazing. I can't make this stuff up. Try to live in the Philippines. Try to learn all these things, and you'll learn for yourself how deeply rooted this corruption is. And it's sad. It's really sad, and I hope that because of this, cancel culture. I guess this is like the best thing to happen about cancel culture. I hate cancel culture. It's so childish, but this is probably one of the best things that happened, because I know Koreans and Filipinos love each other. They have a deep history together. And I know that if you're, a K-pop fan, if you're, someone who loves Korean culture, or if you're a Korean who loves Filipino culture, who love the Filipino people, who love hospitality and how fun we are, I'm sure you're both going to look at yourself and say, this is something that was a spur of the moment. And hopefully our Korean friends, our Korean brothers and sisters will also, from this video, learn about, why the way we act this way. Why are we like this? And I hope you understand and give us more time to adjust to things. Because this will not be the first. There will be many, but I hope you will understand. And we are, we're very sincere. And I hope Filipino people will also, try to be more cognizant, okay? Try to be more mindful about other people's feelings and based on other people's history. Okay, I know we're all, trying to make it, trying to send money back home, trying to make it, But hopefully at the same time, I hope that we all learn from this and, move on forward. Because I know y'all like K-drama, BTS. Sit. What was that again? I know you love all those things, and I know you will find it in your heart to forgive. And realize that this was just like a spur of the moment. Just put yourself in their shoes, and how would you feel? And we'll all learn from this. We'll all move on forward from this. We'll be back to watching everything Korean and enjoy everything about Filipino food.